is good, guys? It is your boy Wally J, and today I'm back with another Aion 2 video. Today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about God stats. We're going to be talking about this outer ring of stats. Focus on today primarily is the Pantheon. This will be one of a three-part series to really talk about your stats, where you're going to get them, what you're going to do to build them, and yeah, just really what to prioritize, especially in the early game. This is something that I've learned, and when we go to NA, will drastically help me. So I'm hoping that these three videos are going to help you as well, learn from my mistakes and ultimately mistakes of the homies, as we help you guys out to ultimately be better when NA comes. Obviously, you're not going to really fully understand and feel these things until you're doing them, right? But I can give you the best thing with the knowledge I have. So let's just kind of going over this circle, this outer circle. So not talking about might, dexterity, or any of this right now. We will cover this when we get into pets, guys. So this outer ring, I like to call them the god stats. I believe like Nezakon is a god, just like Zykel is a god, or wherever they are. And basically what these stats are doing is they're going to give you a percentage. So they're going to increase, let's say for Zykel, for instance, I'm getting almost a 20% increase in my attack, 17.6 for perfect resist. So this 17.6 is actually a 1-to-1 conversion of the 88. I'd have to remember exactly what that one makes a difference in, but it is proportional. So it's not like you're going to be getting like an exponential more amount as you get to 200. Basically, what's going to happen is when you get this up to probably 200, you're going to get an extra 40% attack. That's probably what this end stat is going to look like. Okay, so now talking about the Pantheon, we have three different, I guess, pieces to the Pantheon, right? We have the Colossus, which he's going to control three different stats. The Colossus is going to control Nezakan, or Justice, which is going to increase your defense and your perfect chance activation, which is going to be strong because perfect is actually a really strong stat to have. It's going to give you more damage. It's going to be your max damage threshold, and obviously defense is something that we're going to be able to have. Destruction, obviously you want as much attack as possible, especially as a DPS. Getting that perfect resist obviously is going to directly counter each other. So you can even look at it like this. This is split down the middle because this stat is probably going to counter the stat opposite of it. So for instance, this is accuracy and evasion. This is crit and regen penetration. These actually don't counter each other, oddly enough. However, when we get into like the statues, you'll see that freedom and accuracy also is tied with space, your movement speed and your block chance. So these two are kind of going to be the stats that we're going to be focusing on min-maxing. And as you can see, I've worked to get 1 to 70 or 80 and 80. I need the time. I'm going to switch my time grail to actually a space grail. But like I said, I will talk more about Arcana in a different video. So just getting into these, your Colossus is basically going to control justice, destruction, and time. These are the only three stats that a Colossus will have, and if you have the unique statue, it should have the max stats that you can get for each of these right now. There's really not too much to min-max within the Colossus. So next we are going to have freedom, death, and space. Freedom, death, and space are actually going to be controlled by your statues. So just giving a quick overview, looking at my room right here now that I'm entered in my Pantheon. You see my amazing Zykel Colossus. We only get one of those. We have the 4 statues in the middle. So these are the 4 statues that are BIS for freedom and space. And as I kind of mentioned and promised you guys in the video, I will give you the best statues or the BIS statues as you are leveling and growing to focus in on, so that you can have the max freedom and max space. I'm actually currently not there. I need to replace one of my statues for a blue one. Number 1 actually is going to be the blue statue for Kiblis. This is going to be the statue you get for getting all of your teleports on the map. So if you have not already done that, definitely go out and just get all of your TPs. It's very, very easy to do, and these wings are very, very easy to get. These will probably be the first wings, if maybe the second wings, that you get while you're progressing through the game. And like I said, they're going to give 10 freedom and space. For uncommon statues are these green statues. We're only going to get 8. But you're going to be looking for the ceiling wings. This one is also going to come very, very early in the game, or really after you've passed 1,000, you've worked through most of your sealed dungeons. You're going to get a currency. It's like, it almost looks like a broken odal, but it's green. And or I should say, it almost looks like the gray odal, but it's actually green, and it's going to be used to substance morph these ceiling wings. Once you get those ceiling wings, you'll go ahead and get this statue. You'll want to go ahead and throw that in there. The next statue that you're probably going to get is the Bakarma statue. This is the only unique statue that I have seen in the game, and it does give all stats plus 12. So this is probably a statue you probably already have thrown in, and that's the statue that's always going to be in there no matter what stat you're going to probably look to min max. So now you're noticing that I have 2 green statues in here. This is because I don't have my other blue. There is one more blue statue that you are required to have if you want to min max your freedom in space. I was a little short and really just didn't know about this quite yet, but I'll talk to you about how you get that one here in a second. The last one that you should get that is going to be very easy, you just play through the story and you get, if you're already at this point, is you are going to get the Fire Temple statue after clearing it 10 times. So there's a Drapnir, 10 clear, there's a Fire Temple, 10 clear, there's a grab all TPs on the map for the Kibblisk, and then you are going to basically get the last one, the Ceiling Wings, in terms of the build I have right now, by doing all of your sealed dungeons and substance morphing those wings. Now, what am I missing? What statue am I missing? And ultimately, how important are these statues within the Nightmare Trade Shop? The Nightmare Trade Shop is actually probably the best spot, one of the best spots for, obviously, actually no, I think this is the only real shop for your Pantheon. So really get familiar with what these statues do, and what this, obviously the Colossus does. Most people already have this, but what I would say is necessary coming out of this store. I bought this not really knowing or understanding what I was doing, but I would definitely grab the Zykel's Colossus when you can get it. And then I'm also looking to grab Gerard. Gerard also gives freedom in space, so once I get him, I'll replace either the Ceiling Wings or my Mirror of Desire to get the extra 2 stats there, and that'll push me into that 40 mark for my Pantheon. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the artwork and what does the artwork give. The artwork is actually going to be your #1 spot for min maxing stats. Okay, so I have not seen any piece of artwork that gives all 4 stats. So let's go back here. As we've kind of talked about already, Nezakon, Destruction, Time, or Sael. I'm like mixing the names, but these are controlled by your Colossus. The next step, Freedom, Death, and Space are all going to be controlled by your statues. And then we'll have Life, Illusion, Wisdom, and Destiny, or Marchitan, whatever you want to call that. These will be dictated by your pictures. Now, once, like I said, these do not have a picture or a statue or whatever. There's no one painting that's going to give you all of these stats. So we're going to have to really dive into one, then have a second priority, and then have a last priority when you're looking through your pictures. As I said, I'm not going to fully dive into all of the paintings. I'm just going to talk to you guys about what I'm looking to build and what each of these stats builds. My main focus is going to be on Illusion. Everybody probably wants to build Illusion as their first stat. And then based on your class and what you want to do, it kind of differs from there. If you want to be tanky, but not necessarily like have endurance, right? Like a stat, you just want HP, you're definitely going to want to build Life. It's going to give you HP, and it's also going to help you with your regen. The next 2 stats are really going to be determined on whether or not you are a DPS or a non-DPS. I think if you are a non-DPS, you want to build Destiny. It's going to give you endurance. I think endurance is only really built in the Pantheon right now. I imagine in T2 we'll see more places to build that endurance, but endurance is basically, hey, you're going to take 50% damage. It's basically the crit, but the other way. So very strong stat to have, especially as somebody who wants to be tanky and doesn't want to get one shot. However, if you are a DPS, you're probably going to want to build Wisdom. Wisdom builds Smite chance, which is very important. It also reduces your MPU chance. Smite chance, for those of you who do not know, it's anytime you see that like bolts of lightning come down, that's Smite, and it's basically doing a whole bunch of extra damage that you have a random prop for. I don't want to call it random, but you have a percentage prop for. So that's the Pantheon. That's really it here, guys. I mean, it's very simple. I think once you really dive into it, but as you're looking to min max these, it definitely is a lot of research and figuring out where you can grab all of these items. Like I said, you probably already have the best BIS statues for freedom and space, so go ahead and include them. If you've enjoyed the video thus far, definitely go ahead and leave a like. Comment how much accuracy changed when you optimize your statues. I'd love to hear it. Mine went up almost 50 to like 60 points, I want to say, just from switching around statues, which is nuts to think about. I was sitting around like 600 accuracy, and based off of all the farming that I've been doing, obviously you can guys see now that I'm up into the 800s. Then subscribe. I'll be dropping some more content for you guys soon, and be on the lookout video when I'm dropping the pets video. We're gonna fully dive into all of these stats, so that you know exactly what you're getting, where to get it, and how to get it, and ultimately what to then build on your armor thus far, because these will just be the base stats that you get that the game is going to give you, and your armor ultimately is supposed to supplement. I appreciate everybody pulling up. I love you guys, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.